Hey everybody, how's it going? Time for a coffee. Go and grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's have one together. Today's another lovely sunny day outside. Things are looking good. I've got a lot of stuff to get through. I've got to, that was already off boiling. Just in case any coffee freaks are out there wondering if I'm putting boiling water on my coffee, I'm not. It's already cooled down slightly and from boiling point, so there you go. I'll just let that go for a minute and grab myself a biscuit as well. Yes, one of them. So the weather's been fantastic lately. Not too hot, not too cold, all that good kind of stuff. And summer, of course, for us here in Down Under, Australia, begins, I think it's on Thursday, 1st of December. Okay, I know some of you are going to say summer begins at the equinox, but anyway, I'll let you argue about that. I'm not going to argue about that. It does, the equinox is interesting. There is something about the equinox. I actually find is it the equinox? The solstice. I'm talking about the wrong stuff. Oh boy. Okay, the winter summer solstice. I find the equinox, spring and autumn, to be a bit more significant than what happens in summer. But weather. Talk about the weather. Goodness, we could talk about the weather all day if you like. But there's probably more important things to talk about, like the Gilmore Girls. Now, I noticed Corey Fagan said that you, Corey, have done a bit of a mega viewing time that you had on watching the Gilmore Girls, and it looks as though we're going to be doing the same thing. Of course, I've seen most of all the original episodes. Well, I've seen a fair few of them anyway. Jenny, of course, has seen heaps and heaps and heaps of them. But with her two girls especially, and then they would have major conversations about the topic of the day. So anyway, we just started watching the latest 2016 series. So we watched Winter last night, and I'm sure we'll watch the rest of them progressively over the next few nights. So it started off a bit slow, I thought. It just didn't have the edge of the original Gilmore Girls. The conversation, even though, you know, that typical toing and froing of conversations, which is so much Gilmore Girls, just seemed to be very put on at first, and it took a bit to get into it. But after about half an hour of watching, it settled down to be pretty much a normal Gilmore Girls, I thought anyway. And then the humour returned, and yeah, it got all quite watchable. So yes, we will continue to have a bit of a Gilmore Girls feast over the next few nights. So, I've chosen a special spot in the garden for our Carolina Reaper plant. So, yeah, and it's so far surviving, and of course with this weather, it's just perfect for seedlings and new plants to get a good start without sort of that hot sun just pummeling them into the soil and burning the living daylights out of them before they can get a chance to burn me. So, yes, in the case of the Carolina Reaper anyway. So yes, all my plants have had a very good start because it's been mild weather. We had one really ridiculously hot day. It got to nearly 40 degrees. In springtime, this is why I have this thing about equinox, solstice. Just what is it? Because Melbourne's weather does not work with that. So 2 weeks ago, it was nearly 40 degrees Celsius here, which is like 100 plus 100, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever it is. And then the next day was, I think it struggled to get to 18 Celsius. The following day, 24 hours later, it was less than half the temperature. from 0 to whatever. Not half the temperature. Oh, well, it was a lot cooler. So yeah, we have crazy weather. And now today, we're in the low 20s, and it'll be quite mild and nice. And there's been a few showers around, not today, but drizzly type weather in the morning, and then finds up to a great day. The following week from now should be just 20, 25 degrees, won't even get to 30. So just great weather. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying your cup of coffee and a biscuit or whatever. Does cause problems when you want to have a conversation though. Okay, last week also I got this email from YouTube probably 2 weeks ago saying that coming up, which ended up being last week, there would be this roughly 10-way conversation as a live chat with other YouTube creators in this area in Australia. I don't actually know where they were all from within Australia. They were within Australia, but anyway, a YouTube guy, and I think he was in Singapore, who is kind of like your partner, whatever they call it, partner programmer. I'm not up with all the terms. Anyway, this YouTube guru dude in Singapore organised this conversation between a whole heap of us Australian YouTubers. And so it ranged from people like with me, with well, even less. There was one woman on there who had about 3,000 subscribers, up to people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And we all were able to get into this chat. So, and that was by invitation only, just if you're wondering. So I had no idea where it came from. It just, they go on your numbers and your analytics, and they determine that you become eligible for these kind of things. So I didn't send off a request or anything like that. It just happened. So there you go. That's what I got into this conversation. One of the several interesting things came out of that conversation. One of which was, weirdly, I don't know if you know about this, but My Little Pony, sort of animated TV thing for kids, has got this whole guys side to it. So the bronies. So there's a whole heap of bronies out there who are sort of these make-believe, well, no, maybe not make-believe, but they're real fair dinkum guys who like My Little Pony, and they have their whole community out there. And this guy from Singapore was suggesting that the guys on YouTube all team up and join in with the bronies and get together, and you can find new people to connect with. And doesn't interest me at all. Not interested in the slightest little bit. But evidently, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that, the bronies. Yeah, evidently it's the real deal. It's the good thing to get into. So if you're not into it, I suggest that you check them out. You just Google bronies, and up will pop this whole community that you can join in with and talk about My Little Pony. So there you go. Just thought I'd give you that little bit of insight. Yeah. What else happened at that meeting? I don't know. There were several things that happened. It lasted for about 1 hour, and there was lots of contributions, lots of helpful info given, and yeah, all sorts of different ways to connect with people other than the bronies. And the main one, I suppose the principal thing that it all built up to, was that VidCon will be happening in Melbourne next year. And so there's all sorts of ways of connecting with people. Facebook. Don't forget that you can connect with me on Facebook if you want to. And the links are all in the description box. And so so my main ways of connecting with people are Facebook and Instagram, obviously YouTube, and Twitter. You now is useless for me here where I'm located. The whole connection to the internet here in this house, in the last week or so, it's just gone downhill like crazy. It's never been wonderful, and it's just got worse. So I upload videos now overnight. During the day, even just connecting to YouTube during the daytime, it's just so slow. And I'm thinking that it's because all the kids at school are connecting up. You know, the schools, you know, use the internet for all sorts of whatever in the education system, and I think that's just pulling out the life of the connection of everybody else in the area. So there you go. My YouTube connection is just slowly dying. Anyway, one day we'll have here what's called broadband, and hopefully things will improve. And guys, that's about it really from me. My light has died. I've got one light going here, the other one's died, the battery's run out. What else is going bad? We've been incredibly busy. We had a house full of people the other night. It's quiet at the moment. Things are very quiet. But there were 5 kids, 4 adults, and there were just beds and people everywhere, and it's a crazy place. So, and the kitchen was a complete mess. You can see I've got to do this morning's dishes yet, but I'll do that in a minute. And after I've had my cup of coffee. So that's about it. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to, you can check me out on Facebook if you want to, especially the GoJo Media Jeff page. And the thing that the guy on YouTube said was make sure you tell everybody to turn on notifications with that little bell up there so that you get the email every time I upload. So remember that, to do that for this channel and also the food review channel. So there you go guys. Finish off your coffee just like I am, and I'll see you all again very soon.